Hello, my friends. This is Peymon Mutahede, the president of Freedom Law School. I apologize to every one of you for being late. Unfortunately, we had technical issues which did not allow us to broadcast with our regular equipment. So I'm using an iPad here to connect with you and be with you, just to, be with you guys, let you guys know that I'm here. The presentation tonight would not be done properly the way it should be done. I'll give you guys some flavor of what it's about, the issues, the education. But for the most part, I will have to only answer your questions tonight. But I will cover the topic a little bit so that you have that. We'll probably do another Freedom Hour this Thursday night instead to make this a proper presentation. We'll have the technical issues figured out, and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, we will attempt to do this broadcast again properly. So the topic of this Freedom Hour, everybody, is that many people who've heard about Freedom Law School, who have heard me talk about the fact that the people of the 50 United States are not required to file and pay income taxes, that primarily it's citizens and residents of Washington, D.C. And federal workers that work in D.C. or anybody own any real estate in D.C. they sell, they got to pay income tax. It's all Washington, D.C. centered, because the federal government does not have the power to directly tax you, the American people, the way they're doing it right now. They pretended to have that power since 19, because the so-called 16th Amendment, they claim it was ratified, which wasn't, but regardless, in the media, they pretended that, now we could tax people directly because of this Bruce Shaber Supreme Court case. But Bruce Shaber and the cases that came afterwards, Stanton versus Baltic Mining Company, clearly said that the 16th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution did not give Congress any new taxing power. And the people that wrote the tax law for the Congress to pass knew that. They wrote the law in a very specific way. United States and state in the 1913 income tax law were defined only as Washington, D.C. and its territories. They mentioned Washington, D.C., they mentioned Puerto Rico, they mentioned Philippines. Those are U.S. territories. But they did not mention any of the 50 states as definition of state or United States. Think about that. America at that time was 48 states plus these territories. The mention of territories of the United States, in fact, all territories and possession of the United States are mentioned. Okay, but they don't mention any of the 48 states. I mean, isn't New York and Florida and Texas, aren't they states? Why are they not listed as state or United States? Because they knew the federal government could not tax you, the American people, directly. But they wanted to pretend that they can. So they started that scam at that time. Then during World War II, when the husbands and sons and brothers were out to fight the war against Germany and Japan, the wives, sisters, and mothers were working in the factories. There was a labor shortage because the men were gone to war. The men were gone to war. They started withholding from people's paycheck. And the women didn't complain. People didn't complain because we're funding our children, brothers, husbands to not be killed, to have food, to be able to survive, hopefully. So they allowed the withholding. And they kept the scam going. Before that, of course, they'd done the Social Security tax. that, oh, grandma's going to be hungry. It's a great savings for grandma or grandpa. They started withholding in late 30s with Social Security. The regular income tax was after that. So it's been decades of deception that they build up. And you're seeing how corrupt the system has become by the fact that they went after Donald Trump, who was not an insider. Okay, he was not like a corrupt Bushes, the Clintons, the Obamas, the Romneys, the McCains. And he's just an outsider, a regular American, billionaire, but still a regular American, not an insider crook that they own and control. So they've been after him so many ways, right? You all know about that. You know, the Trump-Russia conspiracy, Ukraine conspiracy, and impeachment 1, impeachment 2, and then FBI, raid on his house. You know, they had all kind of civil lawsuits against them, criminal lawsuits, railroaded the New York case to conviction with a non-unanimous jury about what the heck he did wrong. And at the end, they actually tried to shoot him, kill him. One time they took a shot, barely grazed his ear. So people are saying that, wait a minute, this doesn't happen just overnight. This criminality of the federal government has been going on for over 100 years. That's right. In 1913, they did the so-called 16th Amendment. They created the privately owned Federal Reserve Bank, which is not a bank, has no reserves. It's a scam cartel of the big banks that own that entity that they pretend is part of the government when it's not. And then it was 17th Amendment, which also wasn't ratified. They took away from the states, they pretended to take away from states the power to appoint their own senators in the U.S. Senate by the state legislators. By the state, why? Because the state's meant to be a check against the government, federal government's power. By the states appointing the senators, not the people, the state senator will be sure to say, look, don't give our power to another entity like the United Nations or these one world organizations, which they've done since those times, since Wilson came to power to start doing those things. So anyhow, people haven't had a chance to check this and so much more, and they're wondering, well, I'm kind of nervous. Should I not file or what? This is my first time not filing and paying income taxes. What should I do? Well, you gotta do your homework, brothers and sisters. You gotta go to our website, freedomlawschool.org, and just simply start with that. Step 1, the law, 10-minute video. That's it. Just 10 minutes, people. On your drive to and from work, just listen to that while you drive, look at the road. And then at lunch and dinner, watch it as you're eating food anyways, right? And watch that 10-minute video and see for yourself the truth, the law, to make the choice that you don't have to file income tax if you're one of the people of the 50 United States. So, and then there are other questions people have whether filing is a safe thing to do. You have to find out for yourself. No. Your CPA, your accountant, the tax lawyer, all these so-called experts that tell you, don't listen to those tax people, tax protesters, they're good. You go to jail, if you don't file. They scare you. Just like your doctors are paid by the pharmaceutical drug companies to prescribe their drugs, to make billions for the pharmaceutical drug companies. The vaccines that they make, they prescribe, take the vaccine. That's a safe thing to do. Your CPA, accountant, bookkeeper, enrolled agent, tax attorney, they're all ignorant of the law. Yes, they are ignorant. Don't rely on them. Rely on the law. Show them our 10-minute video. On step 1, follow the law and say, look, show me where he is wrong and I will pay you to file tax returns for me. I'll pay you extra. I'll pay you good. But if he cannot show me he's wrong, and I'm not recalling filing income tax, why? Tell me why should I pay you money? To put the rope around my neck? To admit that they owe the IRS money, which I don't owe, and then subject myself to going to prison for up to 9 years. 9 years for every single 1040 I sign. You've done it to me before. I could go to prison for 9 years for every 1040 you had me sign. Why should I do it again now and potentially go to prison for 9 years for the signature on the 1040 that you never told me? You never told me that I'm signing this piece of paper under penalty of perjury, under oath. Same as if I was before a judge and a jury in a court of law. You never told me that I could go to prison for up to 9 years potentially. You also never told me if something goes wrong, even though you, the accountant, bookkeeper, CPA, tax attorney, you guys, you kept the records. You put the numbers on that form, 1040 form. You will not be charged criminally and go to tax prison. But I will go to prison for what you prepared. Is that ridiculous or what? Tell me why I should do that again. So you ought to fire your CPA, fire your accountant, and for sure that tax attorney, for you guys are richer, you should fire the tax attorney. Because he pretends to know the law when he does not know the law. He never read the Internal Revenue Code definitions. He never read Section 7701 definitions to see who is a U.S. citizen that got to pay income tax. What's the United States even mean? Okay, they just know how to deceive you because I got a degree in law and taxation, so be impressed by me because I'm the expert, and that's why I charge so much. If you don't hire me, you'll get in trouble. Okay, so it's your job to be free. All I can do is to love you, give you access to the education, to government's own official legal websites for you to check it out for yourself. The 1040 form, tax form, and its instructions, U.S. Treasury regulations, federal laws, tax laws, as published by Congress, and the U.S. Supreme Court. That's it. Not some cockamamie UCC theory, common law theory, sovereign or state citizen theory, revocation of election, birth certificate, okay, copyrighting your name, all the ridiculous patent mythologies out there, which by the way, I got started with that stuff back in 92. Okay, this is real law we're teaching you. All I can do is give it to you and give you a chance to make the wise choice in your drive to and from work, exercising, washing dishes, whatever passive activity you're doing. Listen to the videos, okay? And then breakfast, lunch, dinner, watch it one more time to verify you are following the law. Therefore, you are safe. Write the petitions to your congressman about the law. Ask him to show you the law that requires you to file income tax. That's free on our website, freedomlawschool.org. You need to do that like yesterday. That's right. Now, you need more time to check this out. Basically, there's about half a dozen states that IRS said because they had disasters this year, you can take more time to file a tax return. These states are Florida, Georgia, Alabama, North Carolina, South Carolina, and then Kentucky, and then a bunch of counties in West Virginia, also in Virginia and Tennessee, and Juneau in Alaska, and Chavez County, New Mexico. And people in LA fire, lost their homes, those guys, they're giving you more time. Anyhow, regardless, you can simply fill out the form of the IRS, the form to ask for more time. Application for automatic extension of time to file U.S. individual income tax return. Form 4868. It's only very short form at the bottom of the form, the instructions, and you don't have to even sign it. That's right. You don't sign it under penalty of perjury. It's automatically is given. In fact, your neighbor could do it for you. You know why? Because it doesn't mean anything. As long as you're going to be a slave, they don't care if you take more time. Okay? You just agree to, you can fill it out, and you estimate total tax liability on the form. You can put 0 if you want to. But doesn't matter what you put on the form, really, because you just don't know. You're asking for more time, and you will take your time. And you will at Freedom Law School. Watch our videos, read our petitions to Congress, okay? Send them to your congressman to refute you. Hey, this stuff wrong or right? That's right. Write our legal position in our petitions to your congressman, all 3 of them. Am I wrong or right? That will protect you if you get those petitions right away as soon as possible by certified mail with everything attached. Everything. Don't be cheap. You're only cheating yourself if you do that. Each petition is about, with everything attached, is about, 40, 50 pages long. Said it all. Okay? So do that, my friends. And I'll be back next week to give the proper presentation on this topic. I'm going to take some questions, though. Okay, I'm going to give you the number to call if you have questions. I can answer your questions, okay? The number to call, everybody, if you have questions, is area code 424-552-1299. I cannot put it on the screen. I have to announce it for you. 424-552-1299. Call, and I will take your questions one at a time. One more time, I'll give you the number if you have a question, which is 424-552-1299. Now we have one person with a question, I think, area code. Is that us? The 813 area code?
One's below us.
Oh, here we go. We got 2 people with questions. Okay. We have 2 people with questions, area code 707, followed by a call from area code 954. I will one more time give the number out for those of you who may have questions, to make a list of you. Area code 424-552-1299. So let's go to 707 area code caller. Please, we got another caller also from area code 559 joined us. Okay, all right. Area code 707 caller, give me your first name, how you heard about us, and then your question, please.
David. My first name is David.
Okay.
I can't hear you on my phone.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay.
It looks like a little delayed.
Yeah, sorry, we have to do it this way.
I'd like to give you a little bit of an update on something that I've been dealing with. I've filed my revocation to the Internal Revenue Service. The state of California doesn't recognize that. I filed a case against the Franchise Tax Board all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court on appeal for actions of our local Solano County Superior Court judge denying my son's rights for me to represent him, for the state to stop taking his money without lawful authority, judgment. They sent a notice to my son's employer to take out 25% of his money. We tried to stop them. They said we didn't file a tax return. They forced us under coercion to file a tax return. We filed the adjusted gross income of the federal adjusted gross income at 0. We submitted it, and then I said, look, you have our documents. We're not required to file IRS tax declarations, right? Mm-hmm. down to it, I realized there's no justice in these courts. They're all statutory courts. They're all under government civil laws. They don't care about common law. They don't care about the people. They don't even care about their oath. I put all this in my documents all the way up to the U.S. Supreme
David,
Court.
how can I help you, my friend? Get to the point. How can I help you, brother?
Okay, they denied our petition. Today I filed a First Amendment complaint. I established a court of record proceeding according to the course of the common law. I negated all government civil laws. I took out the franchise tax board as a defense.
David, hold on.
since they were-
I cannot let you continue, my friend. We got people with real questions. You're just telling about what you've done. What is your question? Otherwise, I'm going to respond to what you say.
I'll send you a link to the court file documents if you want to see a link to the documents.
Notice I cannot do that right now. I cannot look at anything. You got to send to me beforehand. Dave, here's the thing. Let me help you, okay? I'll help you. I love you. I want your son and you to prosper. All the stuff you did, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. But most of what you said was clearly baseless legal theories about revocation of election, for example. There's nothing to revoke. You never elected to be a slave to revoke. Number one. Number two, common law has nothing to do with income tax issue, period. Okay? What you got going on, my friend, is that California is now officially a communist socialist state. It's a one-party state. That's a very definition of, it makes a tyranny when these communists take over and the judges are their buddies. That's what's going on, which is why I escaped California about 11 years ago. As soon as I came to Florida, see how much freer it is, wonderful it is, and homelessness is non-existent where I live. Okay, no crime and graffiti out here where I'm at. In the North Tampa area, it's like, why am I staying in this terrible place? So I left. Okay, other people have tried, but it's gotten worse and worse and worse. California will not come up from this rat hole until it goes down, 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 even a lot more, and the people wake up and realize they dug their own hole, or you could just leave like me. All the stuff you're doing with FTB will not work. I've fought those guys for years and years. They're so corrupt. So don't waste your time with that, my friend, okay? The best thing you can do, Dave, you're a smart guy. Leave. Why are you staying in California, David? Why haven't you left?
Because my family's here, my son's here.
Take him. Oh, your son. Your son is the most important person you need to take out. I came here, one of the reasons was for my family, for my children. They have no future in California. They cannot afford to have a good job in California or house.
California trying to help is because I want to be part of the fix.
Well, I know you want to be part of the fix, but Dave, you gotta be realistic. Okay, you gotta be realistic, my friend. It ain't gonna happen. Okay, I know that's very, very. We can all be Don Quixotes and go nowhere. California is just destroyed, okay? Look, the Soviet Union became communist in 1917 because the Russians were fooled into embracing communism. It took them about over 70 years, 2 generations later, to topple that corrupt system, and they don't have communism anymore. They're mixed economy now in Russia. Same thing gonna be in California and New York and Hawaii and these communist socialist states. And your family, take them with you. Bring them with you. They're not coming with you right away. Bring your children and then let the other ones follow on. Let them visit. But you're wasting your time, my friend. I'm sorry to say that. You already shown you're wasting your time because, as you said, they're very corrupt. All right? So with that, thank you for calling, my friend. I'm going to go I got to take people. Yes?
Okay, I'll chat later. I'll go ahead and send to your guy, I think his name was Steve. I talked to him. He thought that was a very interesting thing, so I'm going to send him to the documents, and you can review them if you want to chat more. Then
okay.
The actual guy that filed it is on the case number.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't have time to read things. Unfortunately, I really don't. I wish I'm so busy to help people. I get so much time because why would I want to read this stuff? Is baseless legal theories, my friend. Without respect, for you, it's utterly nonsense. You bought into revocation of election, common law stuff. It's just plain wrong. It's baseless. But go to our website and see the U.S. Constitution, Supreme Court decisions, the law published by Congress. These patent methodologies is number 2 reason why we lose. Number 1 reason is a corrupt government and courts. Okay. Number 2 is patent methodologies like this, that a good guy like Dave is wasting his time, spinning his wheels on something utterly nonsense that someone put out there with him. It's not religion. Don't treat it like religion. Like, you can't talk about that. I'm right. Hey, listen. You can have your faith. I respect you in that. I'm not going to argue about whether your faith is right or wrong. Okay? But about the law, I'll tell you when it's wrong. Because it'll get people in trouble. It doesn't work. And your son's 25% of his money is being taken by the FTB. All right? Okay, let's go to 954 area code caller. You're live, my friend. Give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hi, I'm Terrence, and I'm in Florida, and I heard about you from social media, which is YouTube and other things.
Very good. How may I help you?
Okay, a few years back, I got bamboozled and filed. All right, so tricked into filing because I was hiring a company to help me out with my business, and then they filed like 5 forms, and I ended up with a bill of 10 to 15 grand, okay, which I couldn't pay. Nevertheless, now last week or 2 weeks ago, I got a letter from the IRS telling me that I didn't report my cryptocurrency. Okay, and now they want me to do the letter 6174. Right, but I'm not going to file. I'm not going to do any of that. But I'm new to this, so I can't go about this by my own. I'm trying to figure out what I should expect from here. It's a letter that doesn't need a response to. It's just saying
let's put something higher. Some books lift it up.
Not have cryptocurrency. So I don't want to go about this myself, Peymon. I just trying to figure out what I can do in order to kind of get my Social Security number out of the system, whatever.
Okay. Terrence, here's the thing. Unfortunately, as you said, you are deceived into filing a 1040 income tax confession form against yourself. And apparently, you checked the box. When they ask you if you have any crypto, you said yes. And the IRS said, oh, yes. Thank you. Then where is it? You didn't list it in there properly or completely. And because of that confession from you, they're harassing you. The best thing would have been not to file anything at all. But you mistakenly did. So I can help you with this situation, but I need to, get more information from you. And you need to join our Restore Freedom Plan, as a member. Then I can help you with the pre-existing case, which would be an extra charge for this pre-existing situation you got, my friend. And from now on, no more filing those 1040 forms, no more putting a rope around your neck. And you'll be free from now on.
Okay. I'm just interested about with the, definitely I'm going to get a plan, I'm going to get a consultation and a plan. And then I'm thinking, I would think, is it no jurisdiction? Is it, where's the crime? Where's the body, right?
No, taxation doesn't work like that. They're not trying to, no one said you murdered anybody, you hurt anybody. It's just tax. That's just the money. It's civil. It's money issue. And they must issue a notice deficiency, which they may not do that at this time. But that's not how legal procedure works. I did a course back in '90s and early 2000 years called A Practical Road to Freedom from Oppressive Taxation and Control Level 1. I call it Level 1 for short. In that course, I explained these procedures, IRS, how they must come after you, the proper procedures for them to come forward, and proper procedure for you to challenge them. So you can listen to that. It's free now. I used to sell it, okay, but now it's free on our social media, on available on Odyssey and YouTube. I think we have it there too. So, but it doesn't work the way you think, my friend. But at this point, I don't know what you got. You got to send me your paperwork to see what it is. Then I can evaluate and give you some more suggestions, perhaps. But otherwise, if you want to be taken care of, focus on your life, on your business, join our Restore Freedom Plan, and you'd be 100% protected. Your membership is only 30% of what you would have otherwise paid the IRS. Okay? You keep 70% of it. Okay? And then this will be an extra charge. We'll take care of it for you. Or maybe it's too small. Maybe it's not even worth bothering with. I don't know. But I don't have no simple answer for you to give you what to do on the phone to win, guaranteed.
Okay, so it's more a procedural thing than it is like jurisdiction or anything.
It's procedural, also factual. What are the facts of your case? What's going on here? I had a couple of guys that they come to me and says, "Oh, Peymon, I took money from my exchange to my wallet, and my exchange, like Coinbase or whoever, 1099 me. It was my own money that went from my pocket A to my own pocket B. IRS is coming after them as if they sold it." So it depends on the facts of the case also.
Yeah, okay. All right, wonderful. I look forward to working with you guys.
All right. Likewise, my friend. Thanks for calling us, Terrence. We have a 559 area code caller, followed by the call from area code 510. So 559 area code call, and we got a 540 caller who's coming right behind them. Okay. So 559 area code caller, you're next. Give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hi, Ken.
Say it again, please. You have a really bad connection. You're in a bad area. So call back with better connection. I'll be happy to take your call, but right now you got a very bad connection, my friend. Okay. Let's go to area code right now, 510 caller. Okay. And then we'll come back to area code 559 caller. From 510, my friend, you are live. You give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, then your question, please.
Well, this is Ben from California. Heard about you when you were through Lindell TV. On the program, I'm not sure which one, but it was Lindell TV. My question is, I didn't file, my statement is I didn't file last year, and I'm not filing this year. My wife is not quite on board yet, so I ended up filing my state taxes as marriage filing separately, which is the worst possible scenario as far as because I like
You're cutting out also, my friend. Oh, man, I can't hear you, my friend. Okay, I'll have to come back to you also, my friend. You got a bad connection. Although it could be on our end, honestly. I don't know if it's our connection that's got bad internet or your end, but I'm sorry. I cannot hear you, my friend Ben. I got some of what you said, your background, so I'll come back to you, okay? Let's go to the next caller right now. See if we can help him better with the better connection. Area code 540 caller. Let's go to him and we come back to these two other callers which had bad connection. 540 caller, you're alive, my friend. Tell me how you heard about Freedom Law School. Your name? Yeah, good connection. Yes, what's your name?
It's Alice, and I'm calling from Connecticut. And we chatted a couple
couple months ago when I got a phishing letter, and now I got a CP59 saying you forgot to file for 2023. So I've been reading and listening to you for a long time. I have a couple questions. I do the payroll at my company. I'm trying to get my employer on board with you, but okay.
Oh man, we lost her too. That's payroll. Oh man. Oh yeah. Sorry, Alice. I think maybe a problem is on our end. I got a feeling because 3 out of 3 callers have problems calling. I apologize, Alice, and also the other 2 callers. Looks like the trouble may be on our end. That you sound okay. Well, you're back now, Alice. So you did a payroll for your company. I heard that. Then tell me after that. Then what?
Company. Does it make sense to refile mine as 0, or would that be with for company control?
Sorry, the connection was so bad I could not make sense of what you said. Would you kindly repeat what you said?
Okay, so W-2 electronically every year and no withholding. Did you hear that?
Yeah, the W-2 you send out for the employee, employees of the company. I know that. Yes, I heard that. What else?
So mine has been withholding. Now they're sending me a second notice saying you forgot to file. It's a CP59. So I'm wondering, should I try to do a W-2 correction for the company?
No.
Zero income?
No. First of all, I don't know these letter numbers, guys. I don't know what the letter numbers are. They change them. What is the heading of the letter? What does it say?
I gotcha. It says you need to file your 2023 Form 10.
God, is a junk, computer-generated, fear-mongering letter. It legally means absolutely nothing. There's no response required by you at all. It's a phishing letter by the IRS. You can trash can it, file 13 it, and you'll be just fine.
Okay, you don't think they're just going to keep escalating this?
Nope. I don't think they're going to automatically escalate anything. That's what they want you to believe. Whoa, be afraid. We'll get you. Read our letters. You see all the threatening language of more taxes, penalties, investigation, criminal case. You hear all these words? They're meant to scare you. You get it? Be scared. Got it? No, it's not automatic.
Okay, I did watch. I've watched you a lot as well as Jody Esther, and Joe. And that really did concern me. You have to say.
Okay. All right. All right, Alice. That's it. Don't worry about it. Call us tomorrow. We'll try to help you some more. Sorry, I got the bad connection tonight, and we'll do our best to help you. I'll be Thursday night. I'll be doing a Freedom Hour again, hopefully with a better situation to get your questions answered. Okay. Thank you for your patience. Let's go now back to the. We had a call from Eric. I think 559 that he had trouble with. Let's try to get 559 caller. Maybe we get a better connection with him. Get his question answered. You there? You could 559 caller. You're live. Give me your first name.
Peymon, I'm here. I can hear you.
Okay. What's your name? How you heard about us? And then your question.
Hi, I'm Ian. I'm from Idaho. Pleasure to speak with you.
What's your first name?
Ian.
Spell that, please.
Ian. I-A-N.
Oh, Ian. And how did you hear about Freedom Law School?
Yeah. I've actually been speaking with
All right, what's your question, my friend?
Regarding the title of worried about the April 15th deadline, you usually get 6 months to decide to file. And I have a bunch of anxiety because I've been now for my entire life. I'm relatively young, and funny enough, I'm an analyst, and specifically I trade cryptocurrencies for a living. That's all I do. And not filing income tax federally is going to be very, very new to me. I almost did not do it last year before I did not even know you because I had a very sick feeling not to do it just because of all the injustices this government has done to us as citizens in our country. And I waited till the last day of December before I filed my federal income taxes. Anyways, I won't rant on. My question is, what is when you say that I have easily 6 more months to decide to file, what's the catch of the headline here? Why would I not file an extension when I'm in this indecision point and I have all this anxiety to make this big decision?
I'm recommending that for you to file for an extension to give yourself more time. To get more time to check things out, investigate.
So you're saying to not file an extension?
No, I'm saying do file for an extension. Do file for an extension.
Oh, you're saying I should file for an extension?
Yeah, because you need to check things out more thoroughly for yourself.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I've read thoroughly through the 7 steps on your website that Cam has pointed me to, and I've read a lot of your material, and it's very sound. I understand its legitimacy very well. I guess what makes this step very difficult for me is the fact that I have a family, a very young family, 4-year-old, 2-year-old, and a 9-month-old. And that's the only thing that is, I guess, making it a little put the feet in front and jump into the
Ian, if you're concerned about that, then just all you gotta do is join the Restore Freedom Plan. Everybody gets together. We do the petitions to Congress for you. That protects you from going to prison completely because we pay attorneys too. You're relying on the law. You're showing your innocence, your good faith to pay your fair share of taxes. When you tell the congressman, I owe 0, but if I'm wrong, tell me. I will pay my fair share of taxing. Just show me where I am wrong. And they can't, so they don't. That proves your good intent, okay? And they cannot put you in prison with that. Understand? All you gotta do is join Restore Freedom Plan, my friend. That's the whole idea, is to protect you so you can stand for freedom without being worried about your family. In fact, your family is better protected because you will not go to prison. If something comes up, we'll do all the paperwork for you. You sign and mail it out, but we do all the attorneys as necessary also. And if you lose, we reimburse whatever IRS takes from you. So you got a simple answer. Call Cam, say I'm gonna join Restore Freedom Plan.
Got it. I have one more question for you, if that is okay. It's regarding state income taxes. I know that you guys preach federal income taxes are fraudulent, and I agree with you 100%. Now, when it comes to state income taxes, for example, I live in the state of Idaho, and I understand that Idaho is would you call that a piggyback state, correct?
Yes, they base their income tax on federal tax law. So if you don't own nothing federal, you owe nothing to Idaho either. So you're fine there. And they're not an aggressive state either.
Okay, interesting. So, theoretically, if I did not want to file my federal income taxes, then why would I file my state income taxes?
Yes, except that there's no my, federal income tax to begin with. You never owed them anything for federal income tax to begin with. Yes.
Yeah, understood. Gotcha. Okay, so, okay, I guess I just need to take the leap of faith there and just get it over with.
There's no leap of faith, my friend. All you got to do, you need to understand the steps more clearly. You see, you reviewed them, but you don't really understand them very well, my friend, okay? You need to watch the videos like step 5, okay? Why you don't go to prison by relying on the petitions, how that protects you. There's a video on that topic of that. You need to understand for yourself why the petitions that you are saying, I believe everybody should pay their fair share of taxes. I will pay my fair share if you show me I'm wrong. You go through the trouble sending these certified letters by certified mail to your congressman. They cost a bunch to print and mail and keep in your records. And the jury going to say, what? If they were dumb enough to put you in a jury trial, the jury's going to say, you did all this stuff and they did not show you the law? And you say you'll pay the tax now too, if they show it to you, and they don't. But maybe you've been deceived just like I. Maybe they're ignoring your rights and mine. Maybe none of us owes income tax, so they will not come after you with our petitions, my friend. Okay.
I mean, my hope is that I would never have to go in front of a jury.
You won't, because the fact that the government doesn't want to take a case like that to a jury. They're rather get a call like David, who relies on UC on maybe the revocation of election or a common law or baseless legal theories. Those guys, they can win, but they will not even take you before the jury on that area because they know they'll lose.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate your time, Peymon. I really do. I appreciate it, and I look forward to the next open mic like call. I'll be calling in again for some more questions.
You're welcome, my friend. My pleasure. Thank you for calling. Let's go to the 518 area code caller, Ben. Who could not hear him very well. Let's hope we get a better connection for Ben. Area code 510. Ben, you're live with us again. One more time, my friend. Let's try again. You heard us on Lindell TV. I heard that. You did not file for last year or this year. You said you're marrying, filing separately in California you live at, and then continue on, please.
All right. Thank you, Peymon.
You're welcome.
So because of my wife filed, she's not on board yet. She's a little bit nervous about it, but she filed marriage filing separately. Because of that, she says I have to file my state taxes using the same status, marriage filing, separately, which is the worst case scenario. I pay the most taxes out of it. So I guess my question is, do I have to file the same way she filed federal tax? Do I have to file the state tax in the same way, or can I do another status?
No, she's right. You're not filing together with the state of California, so you have to remain separate if you were to file.
Okay, and is California, could you remind me, is California a piggyback state, I guess?
California is definitely a piggyback state based on federal tax laws, but they're also a communist state. Judges are lawless. They don't care about the law. They just want you to be a slave because the existence of this communist system is dependent upon you being a slave and funding their communist system. That is foremost the first agenda of the people in power in California. What do you do for a living, by the way?
Oh, I'm an engineer.
As an employee, or you have your own business?
No, I work for the state.
Yeah, you're sitting duck. Yeah, they can take a paycheck easily. So yeah.
Wow. Okay. What if I can convince her to file head of household? Would that work?
I'm not sure about that, honestly. I don't know, but marriage filing separately, I think would be probably safer. I'm not sure what she did on her tax form. Probably marriage filing separately would be probably the better way to go. The best way to go is this. is surprise your wife one night. Bring her favorite food home. Honey, don't cook tonight. I got something special for you tonight. Okay, bring it in. What's your favorite restaurant?
Well, my favorite restaurant,
Your wife.
Caribbean.
She's like Texas Roadhouse, the Olive Garden. You know, what kind of restaurant does she like the food?
Peruvian food.
Peruvian food. Bring her favorite Peruvian food, catered in. Okay, candlelight, flowers, everything to the T. Surprise her, glass of wine, everything, whatever. And then say, honey, I love you. I want to be with you, and I want peace amongst us. I really want peace and harmony. I need you to do me a favor and take a time, an hour and a half, watch this stuff with me, because I don't want to trust no accountant messing us up or CPA. I want to go follow the law properly by looking at government's own official legal websites. That's why they're there. And show me if there's anything wrong or right. And have her watch the videos, the short videos of each step. Okay? And then you got to bring it on board. But you got to, in a nice way, bribe her. Okay? To look at it. I've had spouses, in front of me. The guy doesn't want to take a look at the law. They're with his wife, they're over. So, I after the guy talks a lot, I let him talk. Then I tell him, you got 10 minutes? He said, you can give me 10 minutes to watch something? Sure. I haven't watched my 10-minute video. Then he says, oh, I didn't know that's what you argued, and that state is not in definition of the United States. Oh, I thought you talked about the 16th Amendment. And his wife says, no, I try to tell you, it's not about that. I try to tell you, I try to get you to watch the stuff, but he wouldn't watch. He wouldn't listen. Okay? But guess what? I got to watch just 10 minutes. That's what you got to do. Have her watch this stuff. She's prejudging you. She's prejudging what I'm teaching. Okay? So you just got to have her just watch this from me. But to do that, give her some love. Okay? Some tenderness. Sweetness. Okay? Good food. And she'll be much more likely to say, okay, honey, I'll give you an hour of my time. What do you want me to watch? With pen and paper in hand, she can take notes, and so will you. All right?
So okay, that leads up to this question then. So if she is on board and she decides not to file, then it's okay for us to file state marriage filing jointly.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. I'm going to work on her. I'm going to romance her.
There you go. Romance your wife. Tell you something, guys. One of the things I did, this isn't public knowledge, but with my wife, we had some challenges also. And I took a personality test, and so did she. I found out, we're opposites in so many ways. So I realized that, I'm a thinker, for example. She's a feeler. Well, you cannot, we thinkers don't understand feelers. Okay, I had to learn that, okay, I got to do things differently, in order for her to understand me. Okay? And I'm still getting better at it. I'm not very good yet. But I've got a lot better compared to what I was. And, the woman, you just got to, understand they're different than you. Your spouse is different than you. So do what you can. And one of the ways to do that is just by, give them something special. Give something before you ask something back. Okay? Love them, and they're going to love you back, hopefully. Give them a nice dinner. Hopefully, they'll give you some time, And that's the best way I can suggest. There's no guaranteed way, but I think that really works a lot of times for a lot of people. All right. Let's see if any more callers. The number to call if you have questions, everybody. You're welcome, Ben. Thank you, my friend, for your question. We took the 954 area code caller. Did we answer the question? I think we did. We took care of Terrence. Yeah, we did, yeah. So, the number to call if you have questions, everybody, 424-552-1299. Again, sorry for the mess up tonight of our recording system wasn't working because of internet problems, I think. And anyhow, so we're doing this tonight as just to get you something on my iPad tablet. But this Thursday, I'll do another Freedom Hour properly. We'll fix the problems. But until then, I'm here to answer your questions. The number to call is 424-552-1299. That's 424-552-1299. Okay, so we right now we have a caller from area code 425. Just joined us. Area code 425 caller, you are live. Please give us your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
My name is Casey. I came across you on Rumble.
Do you know which channel on Rumble you were watching us?
I don't remember.
Okay, no problem. How may I help you, Casey?
Well, I was watching a video. Peter Schiff put a video up of his late father, and I was watching that video, and he was talking about a little bit about his book, Federal Mafia, and some of the methods he uses there. And for instance, he talks about people that would tell him why they quit filing, such as they were sick, had bills, they couldn't file, and that he told them, no, the reason you don't file is because you never got a letter from the Treasury Secretary or the Secretary of Treasury. I'm wondering if those methods that he used back then in the early 2000s, are they still relevant today?
No, they did not work then. They did not work now. Irwin Schiff was a friend of mine since the late 1990s, and he was a very good guy, very passionate, animated guy, funny guy, good sense of humor, and charismatic and smart too. But he ignored the reality how crooked the courts are, and didn't come up with better ways to handle these guys. Be smarter than your enemy. And so when they came after him in 06 to put him in prison, I went from Los Angeles area to Las Vegas where he lived to try to help him. But he rejected my help. Okay? So that's why he went to prison, because he wasn't willing to learn from other people. I tried to previously work with him, teach him some things. Because I learned from everybody, from him and other people. The generation before me, people around from 70s and 80s, I learned from those guys. Okay, so their mistakes, their successes. But Urban wasn't one like that. That's why he went to the prison. And that stuff never worked in the first place. Okay, and that stuff pales in comparison to what's available now. Urban Schiff did not know. At the time, people in the movement did not know. The federal income tax is 100% constitutional in Washington, D.C., in the District of Columbia. It does not apply to the people of the 50 states. Okay? So, and it's all based on U.S. government's official legal websites. So, do what works on our website, and you'll be happy, Casey. Any other questions?
Yeah, it sounded a lot like what you're talking about. I mean, it sounded like he knew that he talks a lot about it. It doesn't apply to the same people that you say it doesn't apply to. It just sounded real familiar similar with what you're talking about, but I was just wondering if any of that was relevant.
Well, Urban talked about a lot of stuff who were basically correct. He did have a lot of good, correct things to say, but not completely, but some mistakes also, because back then, legal research was very expensive and cumbersome. Took a lot of time to find a book. Go into law books and find a row after row of books, find the right book, know what page to open, get to that page, find the right law, read it, understand it, copy it, 50 cents a copy at the law library, take it home, and categorize it by subject matter in your notes in a folder for future use. It was very cumbersome. So that generation of patriots, myself included, it was very difficult and time-consuming for us to do some real good research to find out what's going on. That's why when I came across this information about 5 years ago, roughly, the laws were online available for free, I said, whoa, look at this. United States and states are only the District of Columbia, not the 50 states. The U.S. individual income tax return is the District of Columbia individual income tax return. It's right there, and I got Supreme Court cases to back it up. But all that easy search was not so easily to do way back then. So he just did the best he could. But no, don't rely upon that stuff. Go with the best, newest research of someone like me who's never been to prison for taxes. Urban Schiff was railroaded to prison 3 times. Okay?
Yeah. Well, I guess he talks a lot about using the rules that the IRS has to file, just like you do, to beat them. In the video, the particular video I was watching, so he talked about they have to send the Treasury Secretary has to, or Secretary of Treasury has to send you the notice that you need to file or pay your taxes, and if it doesn't come from them, then the person who sent it to you has no authority, for instance.
Hold on. I don't have the ability at this point, off the cuff, up top of my head, comment on any specific thing that Urban may have said in one of his speeches. There's no way I can do that, my friend.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Because I was under the impression that if you were to get drug into a tax court, that you can't say basically what you're saying right now, that I'm not a citizen of D.C., so therefore I'm not liable for these taxes, that they're just going to laugh you right out of there.
You know what? They may not. The crooked judges may. That's how bad the problem is. But it doesn't matter. You know what doesn't matter? The judges? Who cares about the judges? You know what? There's 80 million plus non-filers in America. 80 million, folks. IRS's best estimates. We get together, join in a pool, put some money in there, okay, to protect all of us. Any one of us to come under attack, they cannot get all of us, and they know that. The problem is we're divided. We're not smart enough to get together. Gee, it's basic math. If 1,000 of us get together, for example, they come after 2 of us or 10 of us. Well, 990 plus of us are left alone. If y'all pitch into a fund, you can fully protect the few people that come under attack. That's what the Restore Freedom Plan of Freedom Law School is all about. But no, people want to do it alone, do their own thing. They think, well, I'm fine. I need the money. I'll call Freedom Law School when I get in trouble. Well, but at that time, when they get in trouble, the case may be screwed up. I may not be able to fix it. And there'll be an extra charge with no guarantee. So what's a smart thing to do? Join from the get-go. Join hands before something comes up with like-minded freedom seekers like yourself. Right? So just join the Restore Freedom Plan and you'll be protected, my friend. Anything else, Casey?
Right. That's all I had.
All right. Thank you for bringing some very good points and questions. Yeah. Yeah. Good job. You're listening to stuff. Yeah. Good job, my friend. Thank you. Okay. We have another call from area code 914. You alive? 914 area code caller. Give me your first name. How you heard about Freedom Law School. And then your question, please.
Thing comes up with like-minded freedom seekers like yourself. Right? So go through the Restore Freedom Plan and you'll be protected, my friend.
Caller from area code 914. Turn your computer down. Ask your question. Turn your computer down. Ask your question. What's your first name?
Yeah, good job, my friend. Thank you. Okay, we have another call from area code 914.
Okay. He's not there. He's walked away 914. Okay, I'm gonna mute him. He walked away, left his computer on so I could hear myself again. Okay. No problem. He's not there. I think we took everybody's call, didn't we? Not one more time. Anybody with questions? People, one more chance. You have to call, ask your question right now. 424 is the area code to call. 552-1299. 424-552-1299 if you have a question, okay? And it looks like we did have a caller just join us from area code 42. No, let me see. Did somebody join us or not? I don't. There's from 510 area code 2 different callers. Okay, and no, the same person shows up twice for some reason. No, I think we have no other new callers.
No, but they call back in.
No, yeah, they may have call back in. Yeah, the 510 caller. Okay. All right. I think that is it. All right, my friends. Again, I apologize for our regular Freedom Hour not being able to do it for you. We had some technical problems, so that's why I did it this way for you guys, at least for something. I'll be back Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern to try to do a proper presentation for you guys. Okay, and hopefully it'll work for you guys. So with that, all I can tell you, my friends, is seek the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Go to freedomlawschool.org as you drive to work tomorrow or shopping or back home. Put our videos up, the 7 steps to be free of the IRS. On your car, let it play, listen to it while you watch the road. On your lunch at work or dinner at home, watch it this time and know the truth and be free. Have your family be free. Be more prosperous. Pay off your debts. Have some savings. Have a little cushion in your life, okay? You don't have to worry about money so much and have investment savings, okay? And share it with anybody you love. Spouse, brothers, sisters, parents, children, co-workers, okay? And all you can do is to lead a horse to water, but they have to choose to drink themselves, okay? Thank you for being with me. I'll be back. Oh, we got another caller with a question? Let's see, what area code is this? 225 area code caller? I see a 225 area code caller and a 561 both. Okay. All right, 2 more callers. Area code 225, followed by a call from area code 561. 225, caller, you alive? Give me your first name, how you heard about
Peymon?
us. Yes.
This is Lisa, calling from Baton Rouge. I enjoy your show. Thank you very much, and I'm a member.
Well, Lisa, you can call, get unlimited consultation as a Restore Freedom Plan member. You don't have to call here, but since you're here, I'm yours. What is on your mind, Lisa?
Oh, much appreciative. Yeah, you're right. I need a call. So I wish to apply for a loan, to buy a house. I've just run into a few issues because I'm non-traditional, self-employed. I don't file taxes, and I did see where there's bank statement loans, non-QM, but then when I called the companies that said online that they do know non-QM loans, they said, oh no, we don't do that, we need tax returns, and so that's kind of, so that's what I'm running into right now. If you would have suggestions on maybe companies that members have used, or maybe I'm missing something.
Well, Lisa, first of all, I would suggest you don't buy a home at this time because the market is at the top or near the top, the real estate market. This is not the time to buy real estate, okay? The time to buy real estate was the Great Depression, 08 to 12, 14, 15, 17, 18, okay? Maybe 19, so maybe even 20.
Wow.
Yeah, but now the market is at or near the top. Okay, it might go up a little bit more, probably will, but it's near the top. Would you have bought a home in 2006 knowing the Great Depression of 2008 was 2 years away? Would you have done that, Lisa?
Oh, no.
Okay, well, I'll give you your warning.
Okay, I very much appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because remember, the president does not control the economy. The economy is controlled by the privately owned Federal Reserve and the big banks who make out of thin air to make loans to government, corporations, people buy homes, cars, everything. That's why there's so much debt. Our money system is borrowing money that's been counterfeited by the banks. But the interest on that money has not been created. Therefore, it must come from an existing pool of money and wealth. So eventually, at some point, people borrow. Then they cannot pay off the interest on the loan, and they start defaulting. The banks take over more principle of the economy. That is how our corrupt system works. They don't teach that to us in high school. Even economics classes I took, I got it, but other people did not in the class. That the systems are fraudulent. So Trump can delay it, can make things better, yes, by some good policy that will help. But eventually, it's going to happen anyhow, sooner or later. So I would suggest you buy gold, crypto, silver, Bitcoin, and wait. But you can get loans down eventually if you want to get a home. But you just got to get more mortgage loan agents with experience, call different people. Go on Craigslist, go on Facebook pages. They're out there. Online look, and then bank deposit only home loans. Okay? No income verification home loans, that type of thing. Think about bank deposits. You just got to call around. They're not just every Tom and Dick and Harry does not do it, for sure.
Right. Oh, absolutely. If you were to look into your crystal ball, the economy, you think it'll perk up? I know the interest rates have went down a little bit. It's I have excellent credit rating, but still hovering at almost 7 from last time I checked. So, if you're looking at crystal ball, maybe a couple of years or.
Yeah, probably a couple of years. I would say that'd be probably a safe bet. But that's the hardest thing to do. Even back in early 2000 years when I saw the depression coming, I just said I'd be cautious. Because I think his tariffs will help a lot. Because jobs will come back to the United States, okay, and foreigners will pay with our money back to import to the United States. So you could definitely delay things and improve things quite a bit. So we'll see, but besides that, it's hard to tell how much. Bottom line is that wages are not keeping up with inflation. Why? Because the system and the money creation system is a fraud. That the money, every dollar is a borrowed money that's been made out of thin air by fraud by the banks. So the interest on that eats up the economy, and the wages just simply do not keep up with that. Most people, most jobs. That's how that works. So eventually the system will have to liquidate the debt and start all over again. Great Depression, but it's just the way it is. But my best guess would be about 2 years. Could be 1 year, could be 3 years. I don't know, but it's not. It's right now. We're beyond those early years of 2012 to 2020. Where economy was up. Early years you don't notice it. But as the game keeps going of making more money, borrowing more money to hide the fact that it's all fraud, eventually starts catching on. Any other questions, Lisa?
Okay, yeah, and I know we're not gold back, so that does make sense. That's it, and I appreciate your time, and I enjoy being a member.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you for your support. People like Lisa join us, and Lisa is the kind of person that we get together with us to protect herself, her family, and for you, every American. For us to be able to fight freedom. Okay, we're going to be doing lawsuits. We're supporting congressional candidates. We're doing a lot of. We wrote the Doge about the lock-in letters that they've done as much of fraud, how it's illegal, unconstitutional, the lock-in letters they do to people to withhold from the pay and force them to file. The IRS is doing that whole thing completely illegally. So all that happens because people like Lisa, our members, believe in our cause of freedom for themselves, their family, and all Americans like you, and are putting the money where the mouth is and contributing to this cause. And that's why we've been getting more successful and making a big difference in more people. And hopefully we get to Trump one of these days to work with him to get the system all cleaned up. Thank you, Lisa, for your call. Let's go to 561 area code caller. Again, I think we have another one for area code 515 following him, right? I think 515 is new also, right? Okay, so I'll put 515 area code down next also. All right, 561 area code caller. What is your first name? How you heard about us? And then your question, please.
Yes, hi, my name's Denise. I'm from Florida. I heard about you through Stu Peters. I met you at his fall fest he had in Vero Beach as well.
Oh, we saw each other. Very good. Well, glad to have met you in person, Denise.
Yes. So I talked to you. I work for the United States Postal Service, so I know I have to pay.
Oh, you don't. You don't have to pay. I was mistaken on that. Let me tell you about that. I was mistaken. I was being very cautious. Folks, I'd rather be cautious and not give you wrong information. The federal workers that have to pay income tax are only the ones that work in D.C. So post office workers do not have to file income tax either.
Oh, so because at that time you had said, because I said I was going to probably get ready to retire soon, and you said I would have to pay on my pension. Does that?
No, you don't. You don't, because you're not in D.C.
Okay. Okay. And also, so if I have like savings bonds and I cash in, do I have their government savings bonds? Do I have to pay taxes on them?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
You're good.
What about if you inherit a 401k or an IRA, like anything inherited that they never pay taxes on?
Denise, you gotta watch my 10-minute video. Step 1,
Okay.
unfollow the law, and that tells you. It doesn't matter the kind of money you get. What matters is, are you a citizen or resident of D.C., which you're not? Is the money from D.C. activities, like do you have real estate in D.C. you sell? Or do you work for the federal government in D.C.? In those cases, you would have to pay income tax, but you're not. You're free in a free state of Florida.
One other thing is, like the Obamacare Health Affordable Care Act or whatever it's called. If you receive that, because it'll say, if you receive this, you must file income tax. Should you just get rid of that kind of thing?
I would not in any way participate in Obamacare because he's not America. He's from Africa, okay? Or this communist schemes at all. Stay away. All that is a scheme to make insurance companies and pharmaceuticals and hospitals and doctors rich. Okay, it's not care when the only solution they have for you is poisons, drugs, which gotta be licensed to give to somebody. That's how bad they are. Or cut your body up. Okay? Stay with good nutrition, some forms of exercise, rest, peace and love in your heart. Don't get upset as much as you can. Stay happy, be nice to people, put out good waves. And guess what? You'll be healthier than vast, vast majority of people out there. Check out WestonAPrice.org, WESTONA Price.org. That's the best source of good nutrition advice. Dr. Price found out that the natives who he studied in the 1930s were all healthy, had no diseases because they ate them with the ancestors. So go there. You won't have to worry about all that stuff, Denise.
Totally agree. I just wanted to know in case someone got a government, like I think my daughter gets it from there, so I was kind of curious if she, was able to get the Affordable Care Act, which is like, I guess the insurance is cheaper, but you're getting it through the government. So I would just get rid of that and just go on your own.
You're welcome. My pleasure, Denise. Thank you for calling. I don't think I have any more questions, guys. Do we? Let me see. Do we have? No, we got everybody's question answered, right? Let me see one more time. Do you have anybody with questions? Okay. Well, as always, I put the number one more time. Someone with questions. The number to call is area code 424-552-1299. Again, with questions, area code 424-552-1299. Let me suggest everybody, people, stay away from socialism, from government benefits. Just you are powerful. You have a good mind. God gave you a good mind. You use it. Educate yourself about freedom, about law, about health, the basics. Okay? And you don't need to rely on these corrupt systems and government to, so-called protect you. They are there to control you. They're there to enslave you. They're not there for you. These are all scams and schemes to make them, or that are their benefactors, rich. So stay away from all that stuff, and self-reliance. You'll be very happy with yourself, and you're going to accomplish a lot more for yourself and your family. So with that, again, I apologize for the Freedom Hour not being the way it was supposed to be because of our technical issues. I'll be back Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Bring someone with you, a friend, family member, coworker, and I'll be happy to answer your questions after the presentation on, you'll see it properly, a presentation on the topic of tonight. Thank you. I love you all. Have a good night.